2021. Of course, happy birthday to my father, who just turned 65 yesterday and looked a little older than 40. Jealous? Not really. I look the same as him, so whatever. There's going to be a small cold open here. COVID is back. Omicron is back. It was here. And it's affecting NFL games right now, and it is making a fantastic season now turn into worrisome. You see teams now that have been impacted heavily. Like, as of recording, we still got 2 games to go. And you'll see through the course of this podcast today, you got 2 games to go tonight for Week 15. Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, Washington team. Go at it. So a lot of the rankings this week, a lot of the picks this week there's still impact on games that have not been finished this week. And it sucks because COVID, we thought the thought was, okay, it's obviously part of our daily lives. We still wear masks once in a while, vaccinations, all that. But we thought we turned the corner when it came to COVID. And, no, it's made a comeback, and it's made a comeback at the worst time of the year. Week 15, Week 16, you saw the Browns, the entire Cleveland Browns team who lost to the Raiders last night on Monday Night Football. Again, that was moved from Saturday to Monday, annihilated. And they needed that win. Because if they win that game, they're number 1, first place in the AFC North. If they lose that game, they're now, the 13th team in the AFC playoff picture? That'd be a good deal. So COVID is ramping up again. And, guys, all I'm going to say is be safe. Be safe. Be vigilant. Get vaccinated if you could. Wear your mask if you need to, and all that. Don't make this shit political either, man. Please, serious, don't. Just don't. But yeah, that's my cold for today. COVID is back, and it sucks. So, and it's impacting teams, playoff pictures here and it sucks because this has been a fantastic season. We're heading down to another fantastic finish this year. Teams started to firm themselves a little bit. Teams are falling apart left and right. The Buccaneers, are they in trouble? I think they are. They're no longer the safe pick in the NFC, in my opinion. Lots of narratives now, but again, this fucking COVID now ahead of things now is changing everything that we see in this 2021 season. That's been, again, a fantastic year of football. So anyway, enjoy this podcast. We got Mikey B, of course, the Power Rankings, Kyle Nash, Student Game Report, and then of course Zack Degenerate, which we did no video on this one this time because we actually he was on the road from Daytona home down here in South Florida, and as a result, we weren't able to do the podcast not only on Skype, but also we had to do audio only on our cell phone, so the audio is not as great as it normally is, but, it's better. It's content better than nothing, though. So enjoy this episode. Football's awesome for this week. Enjoy. All right, Power Rankings, week number 16. Even though there are still, as of recording, 2 more games for Week 15 due to COVID, of course. We have 2 Tuesday night games, but we do the podcast. We record these segments Tuesday afternoon for the Wednesday podcast to be put out early, like midnight Wednesday morning. But here, Mikey B, the Squid. What's up?
Yo.
So, obviously, the only teams that are playing tonight that are going to affect these rankings, that they do affect the rankings by virtue of not being able to play this week so far from when we're doing this now, is the Rams. The other 3 teams are Seattle, Washington, and Philadelphia. I don't see them getting in the bottom 5 at any point, whether they lose or win tonight or Seattle get into the bottom 5 or the top 10 anyway. So the Rams are the only team here that really impact these rankings right now by virtue of not playing yet, should I say. But
correct.
Before we start, I'll take a little detour, 3-minute detour. You started yesterday a marathon. You're going to watch every Royal Rumble from 1988 to 2019 because we're going to do a watch along for 2020, I think, on the podcast at some point next month. Which inspired me to say, you know what? Let me join you on this thing. So I've already watched the first 2, 88 and 89. First off, 88, 89, big difference in camera.
Yes.
That much clearer. The 88 one, obviously, the very first one was actually on network television on USA, whereas the 89 one was the actual first pay-per-view Royal Rumble in the company's history. You discussed this morning. You said you already watched the first 3. You watched 90 already as well.
I just finished 90 about 30 minutes ago, and I turned on 91, and then I was like, I have to go eat
and do stuff.
Do some stuff, so I've stopped for the time being, but I will probably pick it back up at some point this evening.
Right. So I watched 88 and 89 last night. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll notice I was live tweeting the fuck last night of both events of the now for the listeners here who may care about this actually real quick. We're not watching the entire show. We're just watching the Rumble matches. Okay, for the record, we're watching just the matches itself, just the actual Rumble itself. So the one thing that sticks out to me about 88 is that what you see in 88, the first Rumble, is that, and I tweeted last night on my live tweets of Brigade last night, is that most of the guys in 88 end up being phased out or probably gone in the company by the end of that year. I've always said that 88, 89 was a major transition year for the WWF at the time. Not just at the top, but certainly at the bottom, certainly the mid cards too, especially. Like,
correct.
By the end of 88, you have Mr. Perfect ready in the company. You have the Brain Busters in the company ready. Junkyard Dog's ready, gone. Ricky Steamboat's gone. You know, a lot of guys in that Rumble, you know, the Killer Bees were gone by late 88. So what you see is guys that end up being phased out on television or just completely.
Yeah, the mid card in the late 80s wasn't the strong suit.
Right. But I will say it got better. In my opinion, I've always said 89 was one of the most talented rosters they've ever had, top to bottom.
Correct.
In my opinion, they improved the product actually from 88 to 89, honestly. Which you can see in 89, early 89, Rumble 89, like Mr. Perfect, who's not quite Mr. Perfect yet, but you're starting to see the seeds. Like, but you see him there, and you see a couple of guys there. But by the end of that year, 89, of course, it's a pretty solid roster at that point.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, and you say you ranked it, the first three. You ranked 89, you went 89 first, 90 second, 88 third. That's accurate. I mean, I watched 90 years, but I remember 90 like it was yesterday. And that definitely right now, based on the snaps of those three Rumbles, those are the best Rumbles in those three. I think 89, honestly, the Rumble, is actually underrated because the storytelling was actually fantastic. You have the Mega Powers, like tease, which, by the way, that was the last descent before they broke up 2 weeks later. Hogan and Macho got into it because he eliminated, him. You have, of course, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, like buying somebody off to get the number 30 spot. You have, what else happened in that one? Andre and Jake. Andre was dominating the entire Rumble when he got in there at number 3 until Jake is number the fucking snake, and they were feuding at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, 89 is actually very underrated in terms of the storytelling. So
I would agree.
So anyway, let's get to the rankings. People here for football, listen to the wrestling podcast, of course. Take 3 Wrestling on any podcast catcher. There's some major shakeup on my rankings this week, so let's just get to it. Oh, hi! How are you? Mrs. Bernier on the screen.
Hi. Sorry,
Hi.
I just wanted to interrupt.
It's okay.
Say hi.
That's okay. Hi.
Hi, I miss you. Tell your wife I miss her and
I will.
love her.
I will, definitely.
Bye, guys.
Hi. All right, Mikey, number 10. Who do you got?
At number 10, I have a team that actually lost this week, and most times would fall out of my rankings. But I think there's some questions about how they lost. And I don't necessarily blame them for it. I blame their idiotic coaching staff for not kicking field goals. Give me the Los Angeles Clippers.
I like it. There you go. That was a fun game last week. We actually were recording our podcast right in the middle of it at the end of that game. That was fun. I don't mind the aggression to some extent, but if you're going for it on 4th down 4 times, at least half those times you should be kicking some field goals. At least half those times. I'll give you that. So yeah, I don't mean there. Number 10 for me, a new member of the rankings. They might have been in my top 10 probably early in the year, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. It's been a very long time. I have now one of the hottest teams in the league right now, the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah. It was a struggle here. It was between them and Buffalo. But when I'm doing Buffalo, I'm having Buffalo on a holding pattern to next week because they play the Patriots anyway. So if they win that game, obviously they'll crack down again. So the Niners are red hot though, and I think now we're at the point where they to me, they are the number 16 in the NFC now. They are. Lock them up.
I can see it.
Yeah, I'm there. All right, number 9.
This team has officially gone into free-falling mode.
Ooh.
I will be very, very, very surprised that you will probably have them higher. But as bad as they have looked the last 2 weeks, actually 3 weeks, give me the Arizona Cardinals at number 9.
So I told you I sent this list to our pals Big Jim and Kyle, student game Kyle, and Kyle already said the Cardinals. I had Cardinals way too low, and I have them higher than you.
Oh, I'm aware.
So when he hears this podcast, he's gonna give you shit now for this too, especially.
I mean, that's fine. I had them at 5. They lost to a team who had 1 win.
Yeah, I'm not. They dropped my rankings too. Don't get me wrong. They
Welcome
dropped.
to mediocrity, guys. Win the games you're supposed to, and you'll stay where you're at. But instead, you lose to a team who has a win against a shit fucking Viking team and a tie against fucking the Rapist. I'm sorry. I think that there needs to be punishment for this because now you're not even really the favorite to win your fucking division anymore.
Oh no, that's correct. And we've said on this podcast that we've been concerned the last couple of weeks anyway, and they've continued to raise our concerns every week since then. And I'll say this much too also. They don't have a big win in a big spot this year. I mean, that Rams win early in the year when they beat the Rams back in week 3, week 4. That was a big one. I was on the road. But that was also at 4 o'clock with other games being played.
That was also fully healthy defense, fully healthy receiving staff. Hey, let's not forget, DeAndre Hopkins ain't playing anymore.
Yeah, he's out pretty. And they're saying earliest is NFC title game, which means you might even get there.
Yeah, okay. So we're supposed to just, because they won 10 games to start the year fully healthy, we're supposed to give them a break because going into the last couple weeks of the season where injuries actually happen, and so does COVID, and so does other fucking things.
Exactly.
We're supposed to give them a break because they won 10 games in a row to start the season?
I respect it.
What do you fucking do, Basil?
Yeah. Number 9, I have the same. You just had them in the 10. I have the LA Clippers, the Chargers, San Diego Chargers. They probably should have won that game on Thursday against Kansas City.
Yes, 100% they should have won that game.
Clearly, they're the one team I think that gives Kansas City problems. Now we're looking at 2-year sample size now.
They have cracked the code.
Yes. Now whether or not they can beat them consistently is another question. But
no, yeah, they probably could have if they would actually kick field goals.
Yeah, Brandon Staley. You'll be coaching. Millennial. Who cares? Anyway, number 8 for you.
Give me the MVP of the National Football League. Give me Jonathan Taylor and the Indianapolis Colts.
Guess what? I got number 8 as well too. And is it safe to say they might be the most dangerous team in the AFC right now?
They're the most balanced team in the AFC right now, and that makes them the scariest.
Yeah, they're very, very scary, dangerous, and I think I don't know if you give him this award because it's an in-season thing, but Frank Reich, what he's done, remember they started 1-4?
Yeah.
Now to 8-6. They are still kind of fighting for the AFC South title because they really are 2 games behind Tennessee by virtue of tiebreaker. But Tennessee, what kind of faith do you have in those guys right now? Seriously. I mean,
After
I don't.
This week, none.
Exactly. So that's that. Number 7, who you got?
Give me a team that you have entering your top 10. I have them moving up in mine. Give me Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow, a lot of love there.
Buddy, they're doing the little things right. Their defense is playing very well. They're getting production out of guys. Hey, let's lose Eli Mitchell. That's okay. Let's turn Deebo Samuel into a running back, and we're getting better numbers than we are from our starting running backs out of a wide receiver. George Kittle has finally woken up, and the defense has kicked it into a whole other fucking gear. Yeah, let's let them get healthy and see what happens.
Oh, nothing too. Jimmy Garoppolo's playing much better too.
Exactly.
It's great, and that's what else did. This team was in Super Bowl 2 years ago. So this was the Niners really been health. When healthy, they're dangerous.
Correct.
So I'm with you. Number 7, this is a team that you had sinking way down. I had sinking as well too, but not as far as you did. That is the Arizona Cardinals you just mentioned. Yeah, and it doesn't get better. They have Dallas on the schedule soon. I mean,
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So it's one of those things where like you need to start bleeding now while you can. You better hope the Rams lose tonight. Because that cancels out the loss on Sunday.
Correct.
So you Get your shit together, Arizona. Seriously. All right, number 6, you got.
This team just got destroyed by the injury bug, and I think it has some questions that are going to need to be answered. Give me Tommy and the Bucks.
Yeah, that game was weird. Even though they lost all those guys, though, 0 points, though, that's a weird situation.
He lost 73% of his targets, I think.
Yeah.
Fournette, Evans, and Godwin. And Fournette has got a hamstring problem. Evans has a hamstring problem. And Chris Godwin's ACL somewhere on Raymond James Stadium's field.
Yeah, he actually torn it. They say it was worse. It was a strain. It's torn actually. He's out for the year now.
Yeah, they left it somewhere. I don't know. They'll find it.
Yeah, somewhere. Just play somewhere. Yeah, that's a problem. Number 6 for me is of course those that frisky team that everybody likes to love to hate. If I can find this fucking soundbite here, it'd be awesome. Where's that? There it is.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
That's not it.
That's not it.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Number 6, those Cowboys. So, should we be worried that Dak is struggling? Should we be a little worried that Dak is struggling?
No.
Because
they're winning games ugly.
And that's it. I agree with you because that's December January football.
Correct.
In the past, if the Dallas offense did not play well, then they were just fucked. But now the defense is picking up the slack for them too and making plays in the process. And that
didn't help that Tony Pollard was hurt, and that kind of threw off their two-headed running system.
Yeah.
Because Tony Pollard's really the guy that whenever he's out on the field, he could run it, or they could run play action. And it's allowing defenses to pinch in and not have to worry about, because he's going to run for 6 yards and he's going to get tired.
Right.
Also, no Amari Cooper for the last couple weeks with COVID and all that, coming back from that stuff. They've been really able to lock in on CeeDee Lamb. But yeah, I'm not as worried about Dak Prescott, quote, slumping. We didn't worry when Patrick Mahomes slumped and was mediocre, but they still found a way to win. But I'm not really going to do the same here to Dak.
It's also, much more fun to make fun of the Cowboys because of who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because you're also a division rival.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying me. I'm saying everybody else. But I get it. Number 5.
Mac Jones. Patriots.
I also got him there, number 5.
So I was at work with you.
Yeah, we actually streamed together.
And I walked downstairs and I saw the score was 20-0. I heard, oh man, the Colts are dominating the New England Patriots. I looked at the box score. I looked at the drive sheets. I looked at all that stuff. Came back to the guy that told me that when the Patriots scored their first touchdown, I'm like, dominating? Carson Wentz has 17 pass attempts. They have a touchdown on the first drive, a blocked kick for a touchdown, and 2 field goals. If this is dominating, I'd love to see what the fucking Patriots defense could do without fucking giving away points.
This is low context, but you present context. People don't know what I'm talking about. It's great.
Buddy, I don't care that they lost to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is on a hot streak. New England is still the best fucking defense in football.
Without question. Not even the conversation. And they came back and almost won the game. They were right back in the game.
Here's the thing. If they somehow find a way to clip Jonathan Taylor on that long touchdown run, they'd probably get the ball back.
And maybe win the game. So I'm with you. Yeah. No concerns, though, right? Going forward for the Pats? It is what it is.
My only concern is getting and staying healthy and maybe getting Mac Jones a little bit more sequence and timing with some of those receivers.
Right.
Because the run game is as good as it's going to get with those guys. The defense is what's going to get them distance. But in a game down by 20, you can see that Mac was kind of timid at times with some of his throws.
Yeah.
So you got to get him comfortable if you start trailing to be able to stay active in the vertical passing game, because there were some times where it looked like he was concerned and didn't want to turn the ball over again.
Right.
So, if you're Bill, I think you have to tell him, hey, no more of this timid shit. Fucking let it roll.
Yeah. All right, number 4, you got.
How about the Cowboys?
Oh, number 4. Cowboys, huh?
Everybody in front of them lost, so I'm not going to penalize them for doing their job.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Yeah. They're doing their job. They're 10-4. And by the way, just for the record, if they win out, which is very possible looking at the schedule.
They could be the 1 seed in the NFC.
With one Green Bay hiccup, yes.
Correct.
we're still got to see that hiccup that actually just happened. But yeah, I like it. Dallas is dangerous. I think they're off. Dak has a couple weeks there to turn it around though.
Correct.
Which I have faith he'll take care of business.
So
No, for me, it's a team, as we just mentioned a while ago. Injuries and stuff. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They probably should be a little lower, but I'm gonna wait and see. I want to see what Brady can do, who he has left next 2 weeks. But there's some concern, definitely. I think now, for the first time, my whole idea of the Bucs are the most comfortable, not so comfy anymore. I think this is the year Green Bay should do it. They're getting the breaks now, so
might as well.
Four the Bucs. 3 you got.
Give me a team that I don't want anywhere near my top 3, but again, I can't penalize them because they won. I'll take that fucking reject fucking Mahomes and the fucking ass clowns.
Jeez, I don't think more. They're winning the games now. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, and number one seed in the AFC right.
Yeah, unfortunately, now we get to see his brother do more stupid fucking TikTok dances.
Oh yeah, his brother's an idiot.
That's the thing. I don't want him to win because I don't want to see his brother be anywhere near the AFC title game or anywhere near the Super Bowl, fucking doing stupid ass fucking dances on shit. Fuck that kid.
Yeah, you remember when people gave Aaron Rodgers for this stuff with his family, being like, "This is my family."
Aaron Rodgers is a fucking genius.
Yes. Mahomes doing the same thing also too. The same. 3 for me is the team that has not played this week yet, but that's the LA Rams. They need to push up despite. I feel like they could actually win out, and I think that win last week against Arizona might be a starting point for where this team is back to being who they were at the start of the year. Honestly,
makes sense.
We'll see how tonight goes. Obviously against Seattle, but anyway, who is number 2 or 4 this week, Mikey?
Number 2 works for the Los Angeles Rams.
We got the same idea here, pretty much. With the Rams, and you've been pretty high on the Rams all the way through, even when they struggled.
Buddy, because again, what is the one thing that you need to win in the NFL? Fucking defense.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean,
Number 2.
you can go down there and score with anybody in the fucking world you want to, with Higbee and Kupp and Beckham and Van Jefferson, Darrell Henderson and Sony Michel and all that bullshit. Matt Stafford's got weapons, and we see that what fuck Matt Stafford can do with weapons. It's like, oh, okay, cool. This is what Matt Stafford could have been in Detroit if they would have done something when they had fucking Megatron down there. Instead, they decided to waste draft picks on Ziggy Ansah, Ndamukong Suh, some random ass fucking running back from BYU, a Mormon kicker from Providence. I don't know. Fucking goddamn organization. Get them the fuck out of here.
Number 2 for me, obviously, this should be no surprise to anybody else. This is one of my 45 teams I root for in a 32-team league.
Oh, yeah, 45 teams in a 32-team league. Let's go, buddy.
Right. That is the Chefs. Look, they ain't number 1 seed in the AFC right now. I mean, they've done their job. I mean, it has been pretty. They probably should have lost last week against the Chargers, but
they 100% should have lost.
Yeah. But 10-4 is 10-4, and it is what it is at this point. Are they infallible? No, they can be beaten absolutely in the playoffs. The question is who's going to beat them in the AFC. I don't know. All right, of course, I think we have to say number 1 here, right?
Ron Rodgers.
Can I ask you a quick? I got him to a number 1 as well. Where are you on the 2-point conversion thing with John Harbaugh?
Go for it.
Thank you. I mean, you don't even want. Everybody else is saying they're critical of him for doing one for it.
Buddy, here's the thing. No Lamar Jackson. Every fucking running back you've had on your roster is hurt. You don't have a fucking number 1 wide receiver. Your best receiver is your fucking tight end, who he was trying to get the ball to on the 4th down play, on the 2-point conversion play.
Are we sure Mark Andrews not the best, at least the second best tight end in football at this point now?
He's definitely. It's the 4, and then it's a drop off.
So it's the 4. It's Kelsey. It's Gronk.
It's Kelsey, Kittle, Waller, and Mark Andrews.
Oh, no Gronk. Okay. Well,
Gronk's 5th, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He always misses 3 games a year because of a fucking calf injury or his hamstring.
School
injury. Sand in his back or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
So when I look at the 2-point conversion play, I don't hate it because here's the thing. You're not supposed to be in that game at all.
Yeah. You're a 6-point
shot to win.
Home.
You got a shot to win at home with your backup quarterback who just had a career day with the ball in his hands, and you're going to give Aaron Rodgers the fucking ball back?
Yeah, that was my point.
Either up by one and making him score in 22 seconds, or you can kick the extra point, give him all of overtime for him to shove it up your ass, and not even get the ball.
Yeah.
You're trying to win that division. How do you win that division knowing that Cincinnati has already won by winning games? You cannot give Cincinnati, who they played this week, the opportunity to go into that game tied, which they just did because of the situation where they lost. Because here's the thing. If Aaron Rodgers gets the ball back to start overtime, they may never see the ball.
I agree. That was my point I made about that. The last couple days
You're not even supposed to be there.
Right.
Go for the win.
I agree. All right. So before we get going, a sad 5. There's a major checkup of my sad 5 this week, so we'll get there in a second. All right. 28-32. Let's go, Mikey. 28 you got.
This team's god awful. They looked really bad last night. Give me the Bears.
I got them there at 28 as well, too. 29.
Jets suck.
Me too. The Jets, the 29. 30.
Lions.
Texans. Yeah. Beat the Jaguars. Come on now.
The Lions beat a fucking 10-win team. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, I'm getting there. 31.
Texans.
Giants. They're fucking bad. 32.
Jaguars.
Sunshine is still in the 32, which means
the Lions have went all the way up.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. They're out of 5. I'm sorry. They won 2 or 3, and it should have beaten Baltimore this year. Would have been a good win. And they look, they went out high on Pittsburgh, but they fucking tied Pittsburgh this year in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Albeit without Ben, but, still. So there's some quality competition things there that
I actually contemplated them taking them out of mine and putting Carolina in there because Carolina's been awful.
That's what's camp.
I can't pull the trigger on you guys because at the end of the day, your last couple games, you haven't had Daniel Jones. Like, you haven't had, offensive pieces. Like, your guys' problem isn't necessarily that the team that you're building is bad. It's the fact that none of them are healthy.
Well, I see a point there. To me, right now, as I sit here December 24th doing this podcast, the Detroit Lions will beat all 5 of these teams right now. That's why I think they're out of my 5.
The only team that I think could give them a run for their money would be probably the Jets.
They're frisky at times.
That's what I'm saying. The Bears, Justin Fields, he's just running for his life.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wait, look, there's somebody, and I just got sacked again.
Yeah. That's a fair point. All right, follow Mike on Twitter at They Call Me Bern, BERN. We will see you, of course, on Thursday for another episode of the Take Number 3 Wrestling Podcast. Enjoy, and I'll see you in a couple days, buddy.
Hell yeah.
All right, later.
Later, buddy.
Report. Kyle Nash, and I'm doing this while I'm missing the New York Mets introduced a new manager, Buck Showalter, today.
I mean, I'm kind of doing you a favor, is what I hear.
Don't start your bullshit.
What?
Don't start.
We're trying to slowly wean you off your baseball addiction. It's a game that is a waste of time for many people everywhere, and is usually enjoyed by people over the age of 60.
Stupid but they idiot. Are what we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
I don't know why you go with that one, but okay.
Idiots.
That's the wrong button, that's why. Apparently the soundboard has to...
So wait, you're hitting a button to call me an idiot and doing stuff. It's the wrong button.
And the tool comes and fucks it all up.
Yeah, I mean, I would call you a giant tool, but you're not a fan of anything involving the word giant, so there we go.
Oh, and anyway. Kyle, we didn't touch on this story last week, because it's been a little bit distant.
Right, yes.
We didn't touch on this story last week because we did the show last Tuesday.
How could we? The shit broke at 12:40.
It broke at 12:40 on Thursday, though. But yet, something happened since. But you cover this team too, especially, so it does warrant some discussion here quickly. Sure. Urban Meyer fired by the Jaguars. Final thoughts on that? It's been a couple days.
I mean, I was surprised it didn't wait till the end of the season, but apparently, I mean, the short version is Shad Khan had enough, the owner of the Jags. And here's what I'll tell you, EJ, for a team that was 2-11, the press conference after the game against the Texans, which they lost as well by 2 touchdowns, the press in the room seemed relatively upbeat. Now, I had stated openly that this press corps was, to say the very least, less than nice, if not outright abrasive, towards Urban Meyer throughout the season. The first question in post-game this year to Urban Meyer after the first Jags home game was, do you feel like you were out-coached? That should let you know the tone in the room from moment one. This is before any allegations regarding side trips for allegedly seeing grandkids, and we know how that went. This was before anything came out publicly on a larger level about Josh Lambo being kicking the kicker, all that stuff, or any other misgivings that are now coming to light. Certainly before failing to win until they faced off against your Miami Dolphins in London. So already Urban Meyer was in trouble, and he did himself no favors. Shaz Khan was forced into a corner, and while I often ask the question of, can you find anyone better, at this point, one would have to think that that's the case, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
The final thing I'll say is a lot of people are talking about Byron Leftwich as a replacement. Though I do not really like him as a quarterback wearing a Jaguars uniform, I think that's a good fit. However, it's not going to happen.
I heard Doug Peterson.
I hope that doesn't happen, actually, but that's okay. Byron Leftwich should be the best candidate, in my opinion. The reason why I don't think that's going to happen is my speculation, and yes, it's speculation, is he has been promised in behind the scenes conversations, behind closed door conversations, that he would be in line to replace Arians if and when he should retire. Because Arians is old as hell, right? Has known health issues, right? That's the whole reason Chuck Pagano ended up being the coach with the Colts, is because the Arians-led team did well with Chuck Pagano, Oh, no, I'm getting it backwards. Am I getting that backwards?
Arians took over the year.
Yeah.
And then Pagano came back.
Right, and that's how we found him. But you notice once Arians left, Pagano kind of went straight to hell, is my point.
Right.
Right.
Well, it was a little gradual because you have a quarterback that was good.
But they still struggled. Like, there were still struggles. There was an obvious drop off when Arians left, is the point, right? I mean, it certainly wasn't like from 12 wins to 2 like when Peyton Manning left, but I don't think Leftwich is going anywhere, and everybody's going to be all up in arms about it, and it'll be fun and games until Leftwich is announced the coach of the Bucs. Stop talking about Bieniemy. I don't think Bieniemy wants that job. I can make the argument that the same thing has happened with him in KC.
Yep.
Because I don't know how much longer the Kool-Aid man has.
I give him 2 years tops, maybe 3.
Oh, really? Wow. I mean, that's kind of surprising that he would leave so soon, considering the Chiefs are the best team of all time, according to you. But that's a whole other question.
Health. He had a health issue this year too, especially. So I think it's more there that we don't know on the surface.
It's going to be a sad day for you, especially as often as he beat other teams in the NFC East as the coach is coach. Yeah.
I love Andy Reid. Andy Reid. When I rooted for the Chiefs win the Super Bowl 2 years ago, he was the reason I was rooting for the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. I made a clear podcast too, especially.
Man, it's a good thing you're not a Giants fan. That would be awkward as hell to cheer for a former Eagles coach like that.
Yeah, but sometimes something weird things happen, right? Shut up.
I know it's weird. You trying to convince me that the Cardinals are only 7th in your damn poll.
I just recorded my piece with Mike a while ago, and he had a number 9.
Yeah, well, you're both effing wrong. You're both bad at football. You lose this throughout the year with your garbage-ass rankings, by the way. I'm putting Mike on blast, too. He's even worse than you are.
I told him that. I told him I mentioned you on the you'll listen to the playback later on. I mentioned you on the segment. Like, Kyle gave me shit quick. I gave him the link to the power rankings already, and I told him I had it at number 7. He goes low. I go, motherfucker, you went too deeper than me with number 9.
Yeah, he's wrong. What do you want me to tell you? Just like you're both wrong about the Ravens, too.
So
Losing the past 3 games by a combined 4 points, and they're not in the top 10, but the Cowboys are. Bullshit, Ernest.
You're in a mood today.
No, you're that wrong. I'm not the damn problem. See, you just.
Maui. Okay, Maui.
You're the one holding up the dirty pictures, Mr. Psychiatrist. Okay, don't hand me an ink blot and tell me I'm the problem. Okay.
This is all you do is just get you triggered. Just fucking say something stupid and fucking get you going. I love it.
Yeah, but you do it so often. At some point, we need to consider my health, or I'll need to make you my right and left wing. Jesus. Oh, I killed him on that one. Anyways.
I'll kill you, bitches!
Oh, my.
What's your thoughts on COVID? COVID making another return.
Christ.
Look, we're doing this right now, and there are still 2 games to go for week 15 as of this recording.
I mean, at least they're still handling it better than the NBA, I guess. I appreciate the reschedulings and what they're trying to do. I mean, I don't know what more I can say exactly. This isn't a football problem, though the football public wants to make it one. This is up there with saying Roger Goodell and Ray Rice were the ones that invented domestic violence when the problem was in the court system, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I said it. Okay.
No,
I'll keep hearing that for the first time.
We actually had that discussion 7 years ago in this podcast.
And you thought I was just as right then too. So I mean, I ain't after you on that one. I'm telling the people who may not have had the privilege of hearing that edition of the Earnestly Speaking podcast, because football is awesome.
Ding.
Does it count when it's on the same show? I'm confused. Like if I'm over here telling you that I've submitted my preview for the Gasparilla Bowl for the 3pointconversion.com, and we'll have another thing out on the Black and Gold Banneret. Ding. That makes sense,
Yeah.
If I talk about how I'm suited to dunk on you this evening when I record the Huddle Up podcast, bing, that makes sense, It's like you purposely. I know you're not doing it on purpose, but like that sounds like you're just purposely doing it like that for the sake of humor there, and I'm okay with it.
It's correct.
I guess I endorsed you in a matter of speaking. I'll allow it.
Do you have a problem with Hold on. There we go. Do you have a problem with John? I'm surprised that you haven't said ding yet, really, like in the way you normally say it, like da-da-da-da, ding, because you go off. To the point I'm asking considering taking a clip of that, your actual sound and just making it an actual ding.
There's a nice crisp one for you.
Tell me about it, man. John Harbaugh, the Ravens lose a tough one against the Packers on Sunday.
Yeah.
Now the Ravens fought hard and literally had a chance to win that game late. Harbaugh, for the second time in I think 2 or 3 weeks, decided to go for the win down 1.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it failed first against the Steelers, and it failed again against the Packers. Where do you stand on that whole thing? Because I'm kind of like, I appreciate the aggression, I do, but I feel like everybody's pissed off now because they're playing a result. If John Harbaugh converts that, he's a genius. If he doesn't, he's an idiot.
Yeah, especially our good friend Big Jim, who's doing all sorts of intellectually dishonest things by calling Aaron Rodgers Quayron. I mean, like, it's one thing if you want to get on his case about the whole vaccination thing, I get it, or the lying thing, I get it, but like, we don't know anything else beyond that, and now he's putting the Quayron thing in there like he's voted for Trump for the past 8 elections. By the way, that's not possible to have done yet, but I digress.
It's rigged.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I'll tell you what is rigged. These responses from the media. Okay, you're either completely uneducated, stupid, or looking for a reaction. What's that?
All the above.
Or all the above. Good point. Give yourself a bell, Ernest Christian. Oh, I'll do it for you. Bing! I do it better. See, I don't have to hit the button. There's no delayed reaction. I am the bell, bitch.
I'm the juggernaut and the bell, bitch.
Yeah, that's right. So, first off, I like how you led with the personality of the organization, personality of the coach, personality of the team. Yeah. Although I could go off on a long rant about how everybody loved it when Coach Harbaugh asked Lamar Jackson what he wanted to do, and he said he wanted to win and go for the win, and they won it. Okay? Nobody in Kansas, people, I've only heard one person in the media actually even refer to the fact that that's actually won them a game at some point. I believe it was against your Kansas City Chiefs, if memory serves.
My who? My who?
Your Kansas City Chiefs. No. Anyways.
Them won your hearts. Them won the AFC, by the way. Just check those standings if you get a chance.
Yeah, right, because the person who's number one in the AFC always wins the Super Bowl. Anyways, so
No, didn't say that.
You said it with your eyes, you sexy beast. Anyway. But take that emotional identity aspect out of it, okay? There are very logistic reasons why that was perfect. Second, don't give me anything about, I hated that call. What a bad call. If Huntley throws the ball to the cone where it's supposed to have gone, that plays a touchdown. Harbaugh's a genius. All of you aren't even talking about this. And now suddenly, quarterback controversy. Is Huntley the next Lamar Jackson?
I think what I get bothered more than anything else is the fact that are we saying that 2 yards is literally the distance between being an idiot and being a genius? Like, are we really that?
Is that really a shocking thing when we talk about any given Sunday and it's a game of inches? One of the most overrated, though great speeches in all time.
Right. I don't get it. Like, honestly, to me, it's this. Look, I see both sides of the argument on this.
I don't see the other side of the argument.
I think the thing is, though, it's the language more than anything else. The language. It's like, he's an idiot now because he didn't convert it.
It's pure confirmation bias. It's not even a good argument. Listen, if you see the other side of the argument as reasonable, I will give you credit. I'll do the best case.
I think there's an argument in terms of like going for the tie and taking overtime.
But okay, here's why. Yeah, I understand that, and here's the reason why that's actually a dumb argument.
But
okay, didn't they just literally have a defense on their heels and score on them? All right?
Right.
They have momentum like they hadn't had at any other point in the game because they were down 2 scores.
Yes.
Okay? For the Ravens to come back from a 2-score deficit, not a common thing with their style of offense and the nature of their team. And that's not a condemnation of anybody. That's just the way this team is built. Second, you're going to try to produce for me that the defense you've been beating up on and pulling the trigger and the carpet out from under them now is the worst idea comparing to putting the ball in the hands of Aaron Charlet Rodgers. That's a superior option to you. I don't give a damn about how you feel about his vaccination.
That right there is why I said they should have went for it.
Yeah, that should end the argument there, but it won't because people are stupid.
Right.
And then let's not get into the fact that again they are going. Their lineup is depleted. Granted, it's not, Cleveland Browns depleted, but it's depleted. And for me, it's just really hard to give people the benefit of doubt. Oh, well, you kick the ball going to overtime. Yeah, conventional wisdom says that. I'm going to tell you this too, EJ. 9 times out of 10, I agree with that take. You take the ball, you live to fight another period. Okay? But in both the situations, hell, I could argue all the situations, including the one that they won, because in that case, it included putting the ball in the hands of Patrick LaVon Mahomes II, which although he doesn't necessarily have a sustainable style of play, he is a good quarterback. Okay? Right. I mean, I don't understand the confirmation bias from people who are paid and alleged to know what they're doing. If you and Jim want to make that mistake, cool. Okay.
I'm on your side of the argument. I think
I'm more taking shots at Jim because if you saw his tweet, he was all over Harbaugh. It was just very intellectually dishonest.
We should bring it up then on the show tonight, just because.
Oh, I'm sure it was going to come. I'm sure we won't have to. I'm sure Jim will, and he'll be as wrong about it as you are with your top 10 this week.
I want you to hear this fucking podcast. I can't wait.
By the way, I hope you like the hat I wore today, celebrating the one bit of actual journalism that exists in your top 10.
Oh, want to go there real quick and find the flaws in my top 10 this week? I mean, we're going to steal a segment.
I don't want to concentrate on the flaws. I just want to give you the opportunity to enjoy the fact that you got one right.
Okay, so you're wearing a Niners hat, of course. Wearing a Niners hat. Yeah, I mean,
does it burn, EJ Christian? Does it burn?
Fuck you, buddy.
Seriously.
The answer is yes. It burns.
Yeah, this is Tad. We're going to steal a segment from Jim's show. That's really my segment because it's my rankings. Okay? We're going to do that right now.
Can you steal that which already belongs to you is the proverbial question there, my friend.
It's his segment of his show, Find the Flaws.
See, this is the nobility you're capable of, EJ Christian. This is why I get so triggered by your top 10. It's so intellectually dishonest compared to what you're capable of. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you already seen my top 10, but in case you've forgotten, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my top 10.
I try to put it out of my mind so I can keep my blood pressure down.
Shut the fuck up. My top 10 as follows for week 16. Now, mind you, as you just said in this podcast, we're recording this on Tuesday.
Correct.
Out for the rest of week 15 is completed because you still have 2 games to go. So the only team that's impacted on this list really is the Rams. So, but
I'm not worried about the Rams, really. They're about right, to be honest.
They moved them up quite a few spots from week 14.
Yeah. Your inexplicable moving of them down that far was dumb then, too. Right. I agree.
And they didn't play at all a game yet. They didn't play the game yet. So that's weird. But
no, it's just your flawed nature. But go ahead.
To my top 10 right now.
Terrible.
I know. 1 to 10 in order: Packers, Chiefs, Rams, Bucks, Patriots, Cowboys, Colts, Chargers, 49ers. Reluctantly 49ers, of course. Find a flaw. Go.
Find the flaw?
Find a
flaw. Hold on.
Plural.
Listen. Christmas is coming up, and I'm not trying to recreate Santa Claus's list, so I'll express this as shortly as possible. Chiefs at 2. Listen, I have respect for your degenerate friend Zach. I have no idea what his product of choice is, but stop using it before you do your top 10, because apparently he's sharing with you.
Where's the
2 for the Chiefs? The hell is wrong with you? But I won't even go there. That's not even the biggest crime. The Cards at 7. Isn't even the biggest crime. Put the Cards at 31. I don't care, but you better have the Cowboys below them. Are you stupid? Like, what? How on earth, in your right mind, can you put definitely the most complete roster, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 7th in there? Oh, well, they lost to the Lions. Everybody's lost to someone crappy this year. Hello?
Or tied.
Well played.
Steelers.
Give me the signature wins for your Dallas Cowboys. Here, I'll help you. It's a moral victory and a single-point loss to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Vikings?
You're an ass. Anyways, yeah, right. The same Vikings that put up 17 points prime time against the Bears. Good call.
Dude, we've been doing this podcast so long now, dude. I know where and when to get you tweaked. It's like, okay, right there, pile.
But you don't think you don't think I realize you're organ grinding? Like, here's some meta for you. You don't think I know my role by now?
Yeah.
Come on now. Here you are over here. I'm just dancing.
Hashtag file for content. That's what the file for content means, brother.
It won't mean a dance mouse. See, now it's ironic.
The one thing I will say, the one thing I had trouble on, honest. The Rams moving up 3 spots could be a little reactionary. Look, the Cardinals Cowboys thing, I could see your argument to some degree. I struggle with the Bills and Niners at 10, But
that is a tough conversation. I agree with
right,
you.
but what I did is that I'm putting the Bills in a holding pattern because they play the Pats next week. So obviously that will work itself out next week. If they beat the Pats next week, they will obviously crack the 10 again.
Over and above that, EJ, why that's a coherent point. I feel like the Bills have been down spiraling for some time.
Yes.
Whereas the Niners have been building for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And despite your multiple weeks of disrespect, you have felt compelled now to bring them into your list.
Well, you look at it this way: the Niners
compelled. And
we'll get. You know what? We should just go there now because honestly.
Oh no! Here we go.
Locks. We should just go there now because really, honestly, it's really going to. This is going to be a segue into the conversation about who's in, who's out. Because I'm there with the Niners right now. I mean, before I get there.
And since we're going there, while we put it up, I'm going to take the opportunity before I forget to do it because you actually deserve props here.
Oh, really?
In the nature of being just and fair. You had a lot more faith in the Indianapolis Colts than I did, and lo and be damn hold, they won that game last week in a fashion that I did not think they would. So, shouts out to the damn Colts.
I think that's the game now where, remember, they had 4 games to go, 2 rough Patriots and Cardinals. That Cardinals game don't look pretty tough now.
Well, actually, it is tough, but here's what the problem is, buddy. We said that they had to go 1-1 in those 2 games to get to the playoffs. Bingo, bango, here we are.
Boom.
Right?
Done it. Off the rip. So let's go NFC first, as you always do, because that seems to be the one that's seen the most defined. And to be honest with you, right now, I think it's even more defined. I think Tier 2 is defined now than it has ever been this entire year. Okay. So right now, your leaders as follows: Packers, division leader, the Packers, Cowboys, Buccaneers, and Cardinals. Currently. The Rams play tonight, so we'll figure it out next week's report. We'll obviously get into that. We'll have 2 games of samples of the Rams to dissect. But right now, the Rams, as it's recording, are the 5 seed, the 6 seed, and right now, the Vikings are the 7 seed.
Garbage.
Well, behind them, with the same record, is the New Orleans Saints. Washington football team plays tonight against the Eagles. Both teams 6 and 7, so obviously one of these teams are going to win, most likely, and then they'll be 7-7 as well, too. Falcons are 6 and 8. They're done. I still think Seattle has a puncher's chance at 5 and 8 right now. If they win tonight against the Rams, they're only a game behind.
You mean in the division?
No, in the wild card. They'll be 6 and 8.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, you're absolutely right. I missed
right, so they'll be a game behind. And if I'm not mistaken, did Minnesota beat Seattle this year? Or Seattle? Because that becomes a situation now. Because I think right now we're at a point now where it's only one. No, actually, Minnesota did beat
Seattle.
Yeah.
So in light of that, that only makes
it's a climb.
There's
Minnesota, of course. So. I'm gonna go ahead right now. I'm gonna say I'm locking up 6 and 7 teams right now. I'm locking up San Francisco now. I'm locking up Arizona. I'm locking up the other 4 division winners. To me, it's one spot left in the NFC wild card playoff picture. That is it, because San Fran is now, they've now carved their place now as a 6th seed at least.
Well, first of all, if I might once again quote the great John McClane by saying, "Welcome to the party, pal." On that one, with the 49ers anyway.
You feel the same way you feel the same as me on this?
With the Vikings?
Well, no, just in general, with the playoff, the locks. I have 6 locks here.
I'm not locking the Vikings in. Yeah, you're mine.
No. Locking in San Francisco. I'm there.
I locked in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, I believe. So
I'm there with you now. Late to the party, but yes.
Welcome to the party, pal. I mean, I'm not shouting it again. That hurts my throat a little bit.
So here's a real conversation here and now at this point. Look at the rest of the wild card teams. Vikings and Saints, Washington, all that. I'm not asking you to lock them, but bunch here. Which team do you have the most confidence in to get that last wild card spot? Of the Vikings, Saints, Washington, Eagles, Falcons, and I'll give you Seattle too, because Seattle still you have to have that quarterback. You have to give him a chance.
Yeah, and listen, you have to give him a chance, and that chance is given. But I'm not going to do anything stupid like, pick them to do it. That's not going to happen here. That would be I can't do it. Pete Carroll is not a good enough coach. What I am looking at, however, is Pop quiz, EJ. What's the first thing I'm going to look at for the Minnesota Vikings schedule specifically?
Primetime game.
Very good. 7:20 p.m. Sunday against the Packers of Green Bay. There's a big old fat L if I ever saw one. Wait, there's more. The previous week, in other words, this coming weekend, by the way, Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. The Rams is your Christmas gift this week if you're the Vikings. I am not confident in the Minnesota. No, I can't call them your Minnesota Vikings. You haven't locked them. No. So there's a few teams I can't give you. So, hey, what is it you have against teams that wear purple? Anyways, so yeah, they might beat the Bears to finish the season, but right now, I mean, with the fact that they are currently at 7-7, I'm predicting a losing record, Ernest Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not locking the Vikings. Yeah, forget that. So that leaves.
But so it's not supposed to lock. It's more confidence in.
I don't have confidence in them then, Ernest Christian. By that default, if I'm looking at the schedule, the Eagles and the Washington Red Tails,
mm-hmm.
I can't lock anybody with confidence there because they have to play one another, right? Mm-hmm. So by default, I suppose I have the Saints, because they play in a pretty weak division in and of themselves. They've gotten a number of players back on the squad there. Kamara is moving and shaking.
And their schedule is fairly favorable, too. They got now the toughest game of the three is this week, the Dolphins.
What?
Yeah. Next week, the Dolphins. And then they end the year against division rivals, Panthers.
Oh my God! Wait! You're putting the Panthers and Falcons below the Dolphins?
No. I'm saying the toughest game for the Saints moving forward is the Dolphins next week. After that, the last two games of the year, they close the year against the Panthers and the Falcons.
Right.
Miami, Carolina, and Atlanta close the year out. For the
Again, your statement of do you think the Dolphins is the toughest game
of the three games they have remaining on the schedule?
Which are the Dolphins, Panthers, and Falcons.
Correct.
I'm not going to fight with you on that. I wouldn't say that is what I'm saying. But the punchline is, that doesn't matter. They all stink. The fraud cons are an opportunity for a win. The Panthers are an opportunity for a win. And the Dolphins are the opportunity to win. All they have to do is secure two of those three. Right?
Right.
So
I will say this much with Seattle real quick. The reason why I won't run off this yet, if they win tonight against the Rams, here's their main schedule. Bears, Lions, and then the Cardinals, who might have things wrapped up by then. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
Seattle's yet.
No, I think Seattle. I hear that. I think Seattle. They're not beating the Rams and Cardinals both, so forget it. They're going to go 1-2.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is that tonight dictates that. I can see Seattle being in the picture again. If they lose tonight, then they're done.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess I'm saying so to answer your question finally, I'm most confident in New Orleans.
Me too. I'm the same with you too. All right. Let's go. Now in terms of the NFC picture in general, obviously Dallas is 10-4. The scenario here is this: if Dallas wins out, Green Bay has one hiccup. Dallas is the number one seed in the NFC. However, look at Green Bay's schedule. I have a hard time believing they're going to lose another game rest of the year because they end the year against the following teams. They end the year against we'll see. The Browns this week, they stink. The Vikings.
Shouts to Lamont Brothers.
Right. Yep. And the Lions. So the Browns, Vikings, Lions end the year for the Packers.
Oh my.
Yeah. Good luck. So Dallas, good luck with that. So the Green Bay should be number one seed going forward.
I agree. I think we were pretty confident in that before, especially now that the Cardinals had the mishap they had. Good God, man, Campbell.
Yeah, man, Campbell. All right.
That's right.
AFC division leaders right now: Chiefs, Patriots, Titans, and Bengals.
Chiefs do not hold; they lose out and miss the playoffs. I'm kidding.
Kidding. And reach the tie. Your wild cards right now. All of a sudden, your 5 seed is now all 3 teams here are 8-6 on record.
Yeah.
All Falcons are 8-6. 5 seed, the Colts. 6 seed, the Chargers. 7 seed, the Bills. And on the outside looking in, it's with the same record, outside looking in, the Ravens.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sticking with the Ravens to climb back into it. I mean, they don't have enough spots for the teams available. You know what? I'm gonna wow you folks here.
Well, give me your locks first. Chiefs lock, obviously, to win AFC West, right? Chiefs lock.
Oh yeah, no, we've said that a while back, and of course I locked the Chargers, so I'm there too, and I locked the Ravens. So, you know, I think we locked the Patriots a while back to make the playoffs. Here's where I'm looking stupid as far as whether I should lock or whether I shouldn't. The Bills have a problem.
Explain.
The Bills have a problem. They have to beat the Patriots to stay alive. I don't know that they can do that unless there's another nor'eastern wind, which is possible in Foxborough.
Here's the good news for the Bills. This will be the last major hiccup moving forward. The remaining schedule at the end of the year for the Bills. Patriots this week.
Yeah.
Falcons, Jets.
However, can you outright say that Matt Ryan and company with that receiver core and what they can do loses a shootout to Josh Allen? Sure, I would pick the Bills, but it's closer than you think with that. And if they fail to establish the run, we have problems. Now, oh look, they ran the ball against the Carolina Panthers. Woo!
Dude,
yeah.
If you can't beat the Falcons, you don't deserve to go to the playoffs.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what it's going to come down to.
Right.
If you can't beat the Falcons, you don't deserve the playoffs. And perfectly set up is that test in Week 17. And if they fail it, they miss.
So let me go ahead and just get this out, get all the drama out of the way now. Chiefs lock for me. Patriots lock for me. Tennessee was a lock, and I guess they'll still be a lock because they do have a game lead with the Colts. Technically 2 games because it's a tiebreaker. But Tennessee, man, they are so fucking weird. The Bengals, impressive win against Denver, ugly game. You want to see that in December, January. I can't lock them just yet, though, because the 8-6 thing is so weird with these bunch of teams here. But I am locking the Colts, though. The Colts are going to be a wild card team at least. And I'm sold on the Colts going to be a wild card team.
No, with all the TCC, that's the risk of locking teams as early as I did. I locked the Chargers and the Bills. I'm going to be wrong on at least one of them, I think. I'm going to go ahead and lock the Colts made that happen.
Right. I'm going to also go ahead and lock the Chargers for one reason: their schedule. Now, granted, 2 of these games are against division rivals. But
by the way, while we're talking about the Chargers, the Chiefs didn't win that game. The Chargers lost it.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
But they're still number 2 on your... Shut up, Ernest Christian. Moving on.
That's my way to win. Reason why I'm locking Chargers is these reasons. Next week, Texans. Then they close out against Broncos and Raiders. Now, even if they lose 2 of these games, I think they'll still get in.
Yeah.
I think
that's what put me on the Chargers in the first place. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I locked the Chargers a while back, and if you check the tape, which you can when you're listening to Earnestly Speaking podcast on Apple Podcasts, you can go back and listen to past episodes of Football is Awesome. Bing!
Come on.
There it is.
Everyone go. Fuck, bro.
So,
I cannot lock the Bills. Cannot.
I already have, so I don't know that I'm able to unlock them at this point. That's not how I play.
One thing the Ravens that scare me too also, and I can't lock the Ravens either. Their division record is bad. They're 1-3 in division.
Who, the Ravens?
Yes.
That's because it's a tougher division.
No, I agree.
I mean, think about that. The worst team on your docket from week to week fluctuates between the Steelers and the Browns. That's not bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna lock the Chiefs, lock the Patriots. The Titans feel like a default lock because their schedule is favorable going forward. But,
I mean, listen, I said that's exactly how it would go in September when I previewed the AFC South for the 3-point conversion. Bing!
Yeah, but I tell you what, though, the Titans, though. I did say the magic number was 10 for them to make the playoffs. And they won away from getting 10.
Yeah. I still think they're going to win 11, but go ahead.
Well, here's the schedule. They play the Niners next week. This Thursday. That could be a loss. That might I'm actually lean towards a loss.
And the other two games, please?
Dolphins.
Uh-huh.
And Texans.
Thank you.
So you think they'll win the Miami game and the Houston game?
I do.
Okay.
I also think they'll lose to the Niners.
Right. So they'll have so 11-6. Okay. Cool.
Just like I predicted in September in my article for the 3-point conversion. Bing! So. You know.
Last thing, I can touch on that. We're doing a lock segment there. Cowboys on a roll, but should we be worried about Dak Prescott? He's been a little bit
worried.
He's been a little bit slump lately.
Okay. So is Patrick Mahomes. What about it?
Right. That's a good point.
Next question.
No, okay. So, what makes this now seem a little bit dangerous too is also that their defense has been so good this year, and they also make plays to the point where they can put up points for you now to make up for Dak's rough games. So
the defense stepping up to play while the quarterback is struggling. Isn't that the essence of your Kansas City Chiefs?
That's correct.
Next question. Oh, and by the way, your Kansas City Chiefs also have a garbage schedule, just like your Dallas Cowboys. By the way, filed for content. I want to put that in front of the Cowboys fan when we talk about it on the Huddle Up podcast. Bing!
I can't wait. I cannot wait for tonight. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks to see Jim, and yeah.
And don't leave out the Huddle Up edition of AJ Hawk in our good friend Matt.
Assuming he shows up tonight. Assuming he does. I mean,
better. Damn it.
Me too. Want his ass too. Anyway, plug away, buddy.
Hey man, thanks for having me aboard again. And telling you to the exact degree that you suck at making power rankings. But hey, what are friends for? Of course, I am Kyle Nash, the student of the game. You can find me on Twitter at the SOTG. Find me on Instagram as the same, the SOTG. Find me on Facebook as the student of the game. Check out my many works coming out here during the bowl season as that goes completely wild. You'll check out my work with the 3pointconversion.com. Of course, that is the number 3, not the word 3. Check out my work with the Black and Gold Banneret. A lot of stuff there from UCF football and basketball in the coming week. Hey, not only is it bowl season with the Gasparilla Bowl here coming up on Thursday, which I will be at in person, Ernest Christian, I also will have UCF playing Michigan in basketball on the 30th, man. Woo! Get right, son. Anyway.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, well, he was actually, he did a woo for the Jaguars. Of course, it didn't do much for the team, but that's a whole other thing. No, and then basketball, yeah, that'll do it for what I'm talking about with the Black and Gold Banneret. So there's that. Check out my work with Demosthenes Euclid on the Hilarity by Default YouTube channel. Listen, Ernest, watch the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation episode where we talk about that movie. It's festive as bleep, and you'll enjoy yourself. And you know what movie we aren't going over for Christmas? Die Hard, because it's not a Christmas movie. Anyways, so
you'll get a lot enough from me anyway, but you're gonna push back from that one.
Yeah, because a lot of people are stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like they think that the Chiefs are better than the Cardinals, for example. Whatever. So, and of course, check out my work with oldschool101.com and A7BN Sports with my friend Captain Chris Hill for the Captain and Company Morning Show. Ernest Christian, fun as always. Sorry I had to put you on detention, but until next time, class dismissed.
It is week 16 of Degenerate. With my man Zack. Now, obviously, as we're recording, we are recording on Tuesday afternoon because, well, as we normally do on Tuesday afternoon, but we do have 2 more games for week 15, obviously due to the recent COVID surge. So right now the update is this: is that right now Zack and I are tied right now with 2 games to go. You have, of course, the Rams and Seahawks. We also have the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles, so we'll know more about this. Obviously, I'll tweet out the results, or the next podcast we do next week, we'll have the results of that and next week as well, too. That, as I said earlier, I texted you the other day. Also recording this also on a cell phone because you're on the road. We can do video today. So, as I said earlier to you over the weekend during the 4 o'clock games, this was a really lame football weekend.
I enjoyed the weekend, man.
Big money?
When you get to watch a suspect team like the Patriots lose, it's a great thing.
Well, I'm glad the Colts won. I'm not mad at the Colts winning the game. Let me be clear about that. But I didn't really enjoy. I wasn't as pumped as I thought I'd be.
I couldn't believe it was a beatdown for half that game, but I think
All
you're
right,
finally seeing who the real playoff teams are.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some. I think we're seeing something too, and we'll get to the first game something here too. I think one of these teams in its first game on Thursday night is I think it's proving themselves as a tier 2 team in the NFC. Thursday football, we have the San Francisco 49ers playing the Tennessee to face the Titans. The Niners are 4-point favorites. The over-under is 44. I'm there. I told Kyle earlier on the podcast, on a Swing report, I told him that I'm there with the Niners. I'm locking them as at least 16 in the NFC.
Now, is that just purely on their schedule or what?
Everything. Schedule, when they're playing, a whole nine, yeah.
Wow.
They're 8-6.
I know. They're doing a lot better than I expected. What can I say?
I know they are. Tennessee is not in free fall, but definitely a tough loss at Pittsburgh. You know, a team I just can't trust. You know, no Derrick Henry. I mean, it feels like a team that's a Derrick Henry a bust team, and he might play the playoffs, but I mean, you don't have him, you're done.
I know. And what happened with the Titans? Because 2 years ago, Tannehill looked like a legit quarterback, and now he's got 2 huge weapons on the outside. Now, when they're healthy, that's their problem, but
right, of course.
he still can't find them.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the under this game, though. It's in Tennessee, and I think Titans will fight here. But give me the under. Short week, 22. I mean, the optics say San Francisco win this game, but it's short week. So I don't want to, go there with that one. So give me the under this game.
Oh, I'll take the under too. I don't know if there's a game I'll take an over in right now when you got to worry about COVID.
That's true. That's good. That's a good point. We'll see how many. I saw a number today just released. There's a lot more people who got tested positive with COVID the last couple of days. So we'll see how that impacts the rest of the week. Anyway, next game here. The Cleveland Browns heading to Green Bay to face the Packers. The Packers are 7.5-point favorites. The over under 45. What does Vegas know? Green Bay's at home, and this line feels small.
Well, I mean, maybe there's an expectation that the Packers have stumbled just a little after how hot they've been playing for the last month.
That's true. Good point. Browns should have their guys back from COVID. Big names should be back by Sunday, I would think, and a couple of other players, including the coach, should be back, I'm assuming. But this line feels like a steal. Give me Green Bay to cover the spread, man.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't care if Cleveland runs every play. I still don't see them being in the football game. Right.
I'm with you on that one. Next game here, we have the red-hot Indianapolis Colts heading to Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals are only a 1-point favorite. The over-under is 49.5. The Colts are red-hot. The Cardinals are starting to fade, man. What's going on in Arizona, man?
What happens every year? You take at best an average coach in college and you put them in the pros, give them a bunch of weapons, and you can get out to a hot start every year, but that's about all they do.
I'm glad you mentioned that, too, because they have a decision to make after this year. I think next year is a lame duck year for Coach Kingsbury here. And do you pay him? What is he worth? Because he's a decent coach, but he's not a guy I think is worth more than $10 million a year. I think he's worth more than like $8 million a year or $10 million a year. So if you're the Cardinals, what do you do here? I mean, barring a playoff run here of historic proportions, I don't see how you overpay this guy.
Right now, I don't even think paying him should be the main thought. It should just be about winning.
Well, you say that, but of course,
I think this is the week they right their ship, and I see them beating the Colts.
Really? Okay.
Oh yes.
I could see that too, honestly. But I'm gonna go over in this one. I'm gonna go over. I think a lot of points in this game.
Yeah, I can certainly see a lot of points if Indianapolis stays in the game.
By the way, speaking of playoff locks, I also lock up the Colts in the AFC. After beating the Patriots, I'm sold.
Well, if they can make the playoffs with Phillip Rivers, they better be able to make the playoffs with Carson Wentz.
Right. And, well, of course, they got Donald Taylor. That guy's a stud. MVP candidate, of course. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, next game here, the team that Arizona lost to last week, the Detroit Lions heading to Atlanta to face the Falcons. The Falcons, are 6-point favorites. The over-under is 42.5. Zachary, the Lions have won 2 of the last 3 games, including wins over the Cardinals.
Dude, how the hell are they winning?
Tell me about it. They've shown signs at the year that they can, if they held on the lead, they can do something. You know what I mean? They tied Pittsburgh this year. They had Baltimore on the ropes. They've had some games. I saw you along. They're better than their record.
They've lost three games by a field goal as time expired.
Yeah.
And I think all 3 of them were from over 50 yards.
Yep.
The one set the record with Baltimore. So yeah.
Like I said.
I mean, they play pretty good, but you can't point to a single offensive weapon and be like, well, it is their run game or it's their pass game. It's like you can just take them for granted.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm thinking Detroit on the points here, +6. I think this team is fired up. I think they want to win for a coach. I think they don't give a shit about draft picks. I mean, that's what the front office is behind that. I think these players are feeling a little bit. I think they'll continue to, at the very least, put up a competitive spirit, if you will.
I think this is a game you can bet not only Detroit plus the points, but bet the over.
Ooh, that number feels low after 42.5. Yeah,
I mean, 42 is awfully low for an over/under with those 2 teams.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
But I'm sticking with you. I'm taking Detroit plus the points right now.
All right. Next game here, huge game in the AFC North. We have the Baltimore Ravens headed to Cincinnati to face the Bengals. The Bengals right now are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 45 points. Bengals big ugly win against Denver. Baltimore nice a loss against Green Bay, but they fought late and were in position to win that game. What are your thoughts on the Harbaugh call for 2? Do you agree with it?
Man, this is the second time in 3 weeks that he's done this.
Yeah. You like it?
No, I think it's been a terrible decision both times.
Oh wow.
You can say, oh, they had the momentum, they're scoring right and left. But you have the in that regard. Just tie up the game and get it to overtime where you can kick a field goal to possibly win it.
Right. I think his mindset, though, was the fact that I am not giving the ball back to that fucking quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. That was his mindset, I think, more than anything else. That said, I don't know Lamar Jackson's status for this game either, so I'm going to be over in this game.
And I'm doing the exact same because, again, like you, I don't know if Lamar Jackson is going to play. So,
I will say Kyle Nash is good enough to keep his team over water. He did a good job this past week. They almost beat Green Bay. So.
He looked really good in that second half.
Sure did. All right, next game here, another big game here in the NFC for playoff locations. The LA Rams head to Minnesota to face the Vikings. The Rams are 3-point favorites. The over/under is 49.5. Vikings win last night Monday Night Football. A little ugly, but whatever. It is what it is. The Rams obviously will know more tonight. I can record this podcast before the last 2 games of the Week 15 slate. We'll see how that goes. I'll go ahead without knowing any information about who's going to be injured this week. I'll take the over in the game.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pray that there are no injuries on the Rams side tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Rams to cover.
Okay. Yeah,
I think the Vikings are done. I really do.
I don't trust them though. I can't trust them. Right now they're 17 in the NFC wildcard picture, but I mean, do you trust them to pull the deal? No. I'm with you. I'm with you. All right, next one here. Probably the game of the week. The rematch. The Buffalo Bills turn to New England to face the Patriots. The Pats are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 43 points. The Bills are barely hanging on to that wildcard spot. It's the 7th seed. The Pats beat the Colts this past week. I think the Bills return the favor here and win this game. Honestly.
Oh, I agree with you. I actually think the Bills will beat down the Pats.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think it'll be competitive by the fourth quarter.
Oh, wow. That bad, huh?
Yeah. There's got to be some major revenge. When you lose a game and the quarterback on the opposing team throws 3 times, that's embarrassing to you as a franchise. So
Right.
I have to assume the Bills are going to come out and want to put a beat down on them.
Right. I will say this much though. This will definitely be a weather report game though. That I will say. So, if for some reason the conditions are as bad as they were back in 2 weeks ago when they played on Monday Night Football, that could be the situation for the Pats to still probably have an advantage. But again, I think the Bills are desperate. So I think they'll play better this week and they'll win this game. All right, next one here we have. Oh, this is a stinker here, of course. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York face the Jets. The Jets 2.5-point favorites. The over/under is 41.5. Let's just tell us about here. Let's give me the Jets. Call it a day. Jets.
You're taking the Jets? I'm going to take the Jags.
Really?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
Jags are god-awful, but I'm pretty certain Zach Wilson's going to be playing for the Jets, so I'm going to skip them.
Oh, wow. Do you think maybe not having Urban Meyer there, especially too? But I mean, granted, they lost also against the Houston this weekend without Urban Meyer. Do you think at some point these guys will just feel free to play? I don't know.
No, I think what we're finding out is Urban Meyer had the wrong quarterback to run his system, and I think we've made Trevor Lawrence to be more than he really was.
Definitely not a great rookie year for Trevor Lawrence. I know you were on the Justin Fields bandwagon from day one, so we'll see. We'll see. So far, it's a wash at best between those two guys. All right, next game here. We have the New York Giants heading to Philadelphia against the Eagles. The Eagles are right now 10.5-point favorites. The over-1 is 42 points. Obviously, we'll know more about the Eagles after tonight because they play tonight against Washington. But I'm going to take the under in this game.
Wow.
That's just over shit. But I can see Eagles win this game 31-3.
So you're expecting this game to be nap time for you? Like you're just going to go to sleep?
Yeah. Yeah. Dick Crum will be the corner for the Giants this week. So, just saying.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the over in the game.
Wow. Unless you think the Eagles are going to blow them out 44-3 or something like that, I don't see why you could do this, but okay.
Well, I mean, I could see a 30-17. I could see 35-17 even.
Wait, the Giants lost 17 points? That'd be a good day for the Giants. They stink. All right, next game here. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Carolina to face the Panthers. The Buccaneers are 11-point favorites. Over-under 44 points. Zachary, what the fuck was that on Sunday Night Football?
That was me pouring my money down the tubes. That's exactly what it was. I've never seen a game look so bad. And to be in it till the very freaking end and still not be able to do anything, that's something I've never seen from Brady.
Yeah. I've been saying all year long that even with Dallas and the Rams and the Cardinals and the Packers and the NFC, even though they've been the sexier team, whatever, I've always said that up to this point, my safe bet to win the conference is still the Buccaneers. I don't think that's so safe anymore. Chris Godwin's out for the year. Obviously got hamstring injuries to both Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans. And this is where you get Brady. This is where Brady's vulnerable now. I mean, Brady's still great, but Brady's also 44 years old. So at some point, that security that he has around him is not so secure anymore. And these injuries are happening now late in the year, not early in the year, late in the year. That's a problem. I'm gonna take Carolina the points here. To be honest with you, they'll probably still win this game, but I think Carolina will keep this game closer.
Who's going to be playing quarterback for Carolina?
Who cares? P.J. Walker? They take the loan? I don't know. Kerry Collins?
I don't care. Give me Tampa Bay, okay? Give me Tampa Bay. They're going to win in a blowout.
Oh, God. All right, next game here we have the L.A. Chargers heading to Houston, take the Texans. The Chargers are 8-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. Zachary, this is easy. Give me the Chargers to cover. I think they need this win just for perception's sake. Take that stink off. They should be in their fucking Chiefs last week, first off. Let's be real.
Oh, absolutely. They should have been able to beat the Chiefs. They were in control of that game the whole way.
4 fourth down conversions. No points. I can see doing 2 of them, over on 2 of them, but all 4? That's a little egregious, buddy.
Look, and that's analytics for you. All these Harvard grads that run every team, they're going to keep doing it and keep shooting their team down the tubes.
Give me the Chargers. Who you got? Chargers too?
Oh, yeah.
All right, lightning bolts. Let's go. All right, next game here. The Chicago Bears heading to Seattle will face the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 7-point favorites. Over under 44 points. So, as I said, we do this podcast ahead of the Rams Seahawks tonight. The Seahawks' playoff chances here lie on this game. If they beat the Rams tonight, as we're recording, they're in the mix for the wild card. You look at the schedule, it's real easy to end the year. After this Rams game, their schedule lightens up big time. And they'll be only a game behind, for the 7th spot in the wild card race. So their playoff lives rest on this game tonight. Not the Bears game, but the game that plays tonight that we're not able to review until after they play this game tonight, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and, first off, take the Seahawks starters to cover 7 points. And that's it.
Yeah, I'm going to just take the over because I think the only time Seattle struggles to get an over in a game is when Russell Wilson wasn't on the field.
Right.
Like, they never play defense. So, I'm going to go with the over.
Okay.
Do I want to see Russell Wilson cover and compete for a playoff spot? Yeah, I would like to see that, but...
Absolutely.
I don't think they win tonight, so...
Oh, okay. All right. 4 games ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the frisky Pittsburgh Steelers head to Kansas City to face the Red Hot Chiefs. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. The over-under is 45.5. This has been all Mike Tomlin, dude. The only reason these Chiefs are even relatively, especially the Steelers rather, are even in this race is because of Mike Tomlin. Because Big Ben sucks. Their defense is great, but the rest of it sucks. So, I think KC blows no offer in this game. Even Chiefs covered 9.5 points.
I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I think you're being a little hard on Ben Roethlisberger. All right. No, think about it. Juju Smith-Schuster, even to start the season, he wasn't a legit number 1 wide receiver. He proved that last year.
Yeah.
Then you bring in Najee Harris. I'm sorry, but he's an average running back at best. You got a shitty offensive line. Now, I get Ben Roethlisberger is old as dirt now. But to pin all of the offensive struggles on him, I'm sorry. That's just not the case.
So therefore, Chiefs still?
No, I'm taking Kansas City to cover.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you're being a little hard on Roethlisberger when it's the entire offensive side of the football.
Fair point. All right, next game here, divisional game here for two teams that are still technically in the wild card race. We have the Denver Broncos heading to Vegas, rather, face the Raiders. The Raiders are 2.5 point favorites. The over-under is 42 points. This is easy for me. Give me the over.
Wow, at 40. What did you say it was? 42?
42.
Dude, just give me Denver. Vegas is falling apart.
They won
I have more faith in Denver.
Okay.
I just have more faith in Denver.
I mean, who's the quarterback next week? Is it Drew Lock or is it Teddy?
Dude, I don't care. I like their defense enough.
Oh, God. Okay.
And I don't hate on Drew Lock. Drew Lock can chuck a ball down the field.
Yeah. No, he could sometimes, but he's so inaccurate. All right, here's your game here. The Washington football team heading to Dallas to face the Cowboys. The Cowboys right now are 10.5 point favorites. The over-under is 47 points. Now, this line could shift depending how this game goes tonight against the Eagles. But in the meantime, I'm taking Washington the points here.
And I'm going to take Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas is going to beat the crap out of my team.
Your football team. All right, and finally, last one here, Monday Night Football, we have the red-hot Miami Dolphins heading to New Orleans to face the Saints. The Saints, are 3 point favorites. The over-under is 38.5. Wow, that is fucking low. That is low.
Not low enough for me.
Really?
Yes. A Saints defense against Tua? The only way this goes over is that somehow the Saints blow out the Dolphins. If the Saints struggle to put up points, this may not total 20 for the game.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, wow. You weren't kidding. Give me the over. Fuck you, man. I'm going over this one.
All right.
As you know, no more buys now. That's it for the year. Any final thoughts?
No, I can't think of anything right now. Just Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you especially, and yours, and everybody else. And go up with your picks. Go up with your picks tonight, the last two games, so you're tied, like I said. And go up with your picks next week as well, too. And we, this is going to be a fun end to the year, man. This last couple weeks is going to be fun as hell. I was against the 18-week season initially, and the 7 teams in the playoffs per conference. Now, I love it.
Well, of course you want it. You want more football. Everybody wants more football.
I'm a greedy fuck, bro. I'm a greedy fuck.
You know what I think they should have a bye week every 4 weeks for the entire NFL.
Extend the year?
Play 4 weeks, take a bye, and then play four more weeks, and just do it all year long.
A little egregious, but I can see what you're angling there. So, all right, Zach.
Like that baseball. I need something
by the
to bet
way,
on.
before I go also too, like, this has been going for me anyway, about at least 10, 15 years, but I don't give a fuck about bowls and all. Outside of the New Year's 6, I don't give 3 shits about college ball bowl games now. They're over-glorified exhibition games. Oh, they are.
In the last 10 to 15 years, if you're not playing in one of the possible 2 playoff games that could give you the national title, everybody who wants to go into the draft sits out. So the games are terrible.
Exactly. So, fuck bowl season. I don't give a shit. If anything, I'll gamble on anything, but that's about it.
I love betting bowl games. That's kind of the best part.
That's the only thing worth doing.
Well, no, you can get a quarterback that you know is going in the NFL, so you know he's going to sit out. But until he actually acknowledges it, when they first announced the bowl games, you can get these lines super cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
All right, Zach. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you next week. Merry Christmas.
All right, man. Good luck. Enjoy Christmas.
You guys, brother. Take care.
Later.